We tried to tell Mayor Wu her ideas would only make things worse. But she ignored us. Bike lanes, all we got was worse traffic. White Stadium, luxury boxes, and beer gardens, while Boston public schools are closed. Boston's headed in the wrong direction, and a vote against Mayor Wu is a message she can't ignore.
I'm Rebecca St. Amman, chair of Your City, Your Future Independent Expenditure Political Action Committee. And Your City, Your Future Independent Expenditure Political Action Committee approved and paid for this message.
These soldiers are training to be U.S. Army snipers. Before this 7-week training course is done, more than half of them will be dropped from training.
I think when you actually get down here on the ground and you're actually performing the role of a sniper, it's a lot different from what a lot of people would instantly think. Most of the time you're laying somewhere you don't want to lay for way longer than you thought you would be, and sometimes it's fruitless and sometimes it's not.
This is the U.S. Army Sniper Course.
Let's go, guy. Keep moving.
Where soldiers from the Army and National Guard learn essential skills in sniper fieldcraft and marksmanship.
Soldiers leaving here are going to leave a more lethal soldier than they were prior to arriving.
There are more than 2,000 snipers currently serving in the U.S. Army. Their primary mission? Placing long-range precision fire on key targets. But being a sniper goes beyond pulling a trigger.
Let's go!
Insider spent 2 days at the U.S. Army Sniper Course at Fort Benning, observing different classes at various These soldiers are training to be U.S. Army snipers. Before this 7-week training course is done, more than half of them will be dropped from training.
I think when you actually get down here on the ground and you're actually performing the role of a sniper, it's a lot different from what a lot of people would instantly think. Most of the time you're laying somewhere you don't want to lay for way longer than you thought you would be, and sometimes it's fruitless and sometimes it's not.
This is the U.S. Army Sniper Course.
Let's go, guy. Keep moving.
Where soldiers from the Army and National Guard learn essential skills in sniper fieldcraft and marksmanship.
Soldiers leaving here are going to leave a more lethal soldier than they were prior to arriving.
There are more than 2,000 snipers currently serving in the U.S. Army. Their primary mission? Placing long-range precision fire on key targets. But being a sniper goes beyond pulling a trigger.
Let's go!
Insider spent 2 days at the U.S. Army Sniper Course at Fort Benning, observing different classes at various stages of training, including marksmanship, range estimation, target detection, and stalks. To be accepted into the Sniper Course, prospective students must meet a range of prerequisites, which include passing a psychological evaluation and physical fitness test, achieving expert qualification with the M4 carbine, and receiving a recommendation letter from their battalion commander.
Attributes to make a good sniper to attend the United States Army Sniper Course would be a disciplined soldier, the ability to think on their feet, but the ability to grow through updated doctrine.
Although both male and females are eligible for entry, only one female student has attended the course, graduating in 2021.
We have one female sniper, national.
Training is split into 2 categories: fieldcraft and marksmanship.
All right, 5 minutes of dry firing begins now.
During marksmanship training, students get familiarized with 3 different rifles: the M2010 Enhanced Sniper Rifle, the M110 SAS, and the M107.
Shooting has always been the fun thing to do. You know, it's what everyone wants to go do. They want to go shoot.
Working in pairs, students learn to hit targets from 600 to 1,100 meters away, alternating between the shooter and spotter positions.
All right, so you're gonna dial 5.4.
Before participating in graded events, the soldiers spend time on the range gathering and confirming dope, or data on previous engagements, which includes temperature, altitude, humidity, and even the weight and velocity of their ammunition.
Give me a 7.8 elevation.
This data informs the shooters of how to adjust their rifles in order to hit their targets in any situation.
Order the target, stand by for wind.
Students also have to account for wind and how to properly read it on the path to their target.
Left point 2. All right, go to the target.
So basically, they're just looking for the wind, what the elements are doing around them, and then giving wind calls based off that.
Left point 3.
Students use a unit of measurement called milliradians, or mils, represented by the hash marks inside the shooter's scope, to determine the wind's effect on their shot.
Left point 7. Left point 7. Go. Left point 7.
So they're just telling the whole 0.5 left or 0.2 left, and it's actually going inside their reticle.
Those were all bad wind calls on my part.
Yeah, very bad. Like opposite direction than what you need to be calling the wind bad.
They have several opportunities to practice reading wind and gather dope with the M2010 ahead of their first graded record fire, which takes place during week 3.
I think this is the part of sniper school that everyone really likes that come here, because they get to shoot, and you don't get to do this a lot in a normal Army world.
0.8.
I personally love it. That's why I came to sniper school. I love shooting. It's the most time that I've ever gotten on the gun, so it's definitely good practice.
Target's up. Face. Walk.
Wind becomes an even bigger factor during movers training, where students practice firing at moving targets.
When you go down range, your targetry, i.e. the enemy, doesn't typically want to stay in one spot when you start shooting at them. So this helps them get into the right mindset and get them the tools and techniques so that they can engage those targets effectively.
Working in pairs, students fire at moving targets ranging from 200 to 600 meters away and have 2 minutes to move between firing positions.
1 mil. I got 1. Yeah, that's what I got too.
Shooters measure the target's speed in mils and must factor in their movement when determining where to aim their shot.
Lead's gonna be 0.8. Wind's moving from right to left.
So they're calling out those numeric values in mils based on what they should be holding left, right of the target as it moves across the range.
Shit's sick.
Did you hold 1.2?
All this really entails is you getting an accurate hold in front of the target so that as it moves towards the center of your reticle, you will then fire preemptively so that the bullet will meet with the target as it moves across the range.
It's going to be a 0.7, going right to left. Go 1 mil.
It can be very confusing determining what side of the target you should be holding on. Should I be adding mils to the target as I'm going with the wind? Should I be taking mils away as I'm going against the wind?
0.855 times 1 equals 0.8 hold. Your shooter and the spotter both need to be talking. They both need to be talking about where the wind's coming from and trying to come up with those numbers in their heads, so that makes it a little bit easier to do that fast math in your head.
What are you going to go, 0.6 here now?
Yeah, left 0.5, left 0.6.
As we start to go deeper and deeper into the training, they get better at it, and we almost have a 100% pass rate with movers.
So when you have a magazine in, you're going to want to settle it a little low.
Although roughly 50% of the sniper course involves firing weapons, marksmanship isn't the sole focus of training.
A sniper's secondary mission is to collect and report battlefield information, but 9 times out of 10, that's the mission you're going to end up doing.
In order to collect battlefield information undetected, students must master a wide array of fieldcraft skills, starting with how to properly construct a ghillie suit. Ghillie suits are a type of camouflage clothing that snipers use to blend in with their environment.
We use natural vegetation as well. We tie that into our suit, and it helps us to blend in with whatever environment we could potentially be working in.
Students bring their own ghillie suits to the sniper course, which are usually constructed using an old uniform.
There's seriously no rules to it. Anything you want, the sky's the limit, and it's honestly up to the user.
Play War Thunder now. Join millions of players across the globe in massive battles on tanks, aircraft, and helicopters.
To help achieve that blending effect, netting and artificial camouflage, like jute, a fibrous plant-based material, are used to break up the wearer's silhouette.
You might want to try to extend this some here to break up this straight line.
Their ghillie suits are inspected at least 3 times while at the course.
We do a 360 inspection, ensuring that there are points that generally get blown out, such as the crotch of the pants, armpits, elbows, stuff like that. Those high wear and tear areas are reinforced, they're sewn down, they're glued. The ghillie suit's constructed with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. It's not fun. You're just sewing through all your areas that could potentially rip, taking a lot of time with really, really thick needles and yarn and a lot of glue.
So I have probably 8 to 10 hours worth into my ghillie suit now, including all of the sewing and everything, and I'd say that it's probably around a 7 out of 10, but there's always more you can do to it.
If constructed properly, a ghillie suit can last a sniper their entire career, so durability is key.
Hurry up! He's moving!
And it'll get put to the test during an event known as the Ghillie Wash.
Hurry up! Get on your back!
The Ghillie Wash serves 2 purposes: to season and add color to the students' ghillie suits, and to test the suit's durability under pressure.
They know it's coming. Everybody who comes to the school talks about it, and they all know kind of what to expect.
Students start off by crawling and rolling across various terrains, including pavement, gravel, and sand, before getting sprayed by a fire hose, which adds weight to their ghillie suits.
We incorporate exercises to make sure that they don't have any kind of tearing seams and stuff like that. It's very, very important that you continue to push, and it's very, very important that you're able to get to and from wherever you're going with the small amount of people that you have.
Students then crawl on their stomachs and backs through muddy trenches to add color to their suits.
We're trying to get that color deeply rooted into the fabric.
Crawling through the trench and under the sticks over there, I would say that would be the top smoker. It was like crawling on your back on a treadmill. You weren't going anywhere, and it kind of sucked.
It's tough. I had mud in my eyes the whole time, so I just couldn't see anything. I was pretty much running blind, crawling blind across the roads and stuff.
Being physically fit and being able to endure any kind of physical activities is definitely very, very important, because as a sniper, you're going to be moving further with more weight than the average soldier.
For the final leg of the Ghillie Wash, they crawl through a 200-foot-long trench filled with water ranging in depth from a couple inches to a couple feet. With their ghillie suits now weighed down with water, students must make their way over walls and obstacles of varying heights, all while maintaining a low profile.
We have them low crawling over any kind of like obstacles and stuff like that, see if the area that they drag themselves on will possibly peel up. And again, any kind of stitching is going to rip.
Honestly, it felt really good, the cold water, because of how hot it was outside, but crawling over all of the rocks and the sand was definitely uncomfortable.
It is a very physical event, but it's completely necessary. Like, we have to test out these ghillie suits to make sure they're going to withstand the test of time. Generally across the board, you can usually see all smiles. Everybody's pretty happy. Everybody has their own little story of what happened to them.
It's good. I'm very filthy right now. I have a lot of dirt in a lot of places.
With their ghillie suits seasoned, students are ready to continue with the rest of their fieldcraft training.
Eyes up.
During range estimation exercises, students must determine the distance to a given target using nothing but their eyes and rifle scope. Before the exercise begins, they take measurements of their target, which in this case was an instructor and a vehicle.
They get all the measurements from waist to top of the head, waist to shoulder, shoulder to shoulder, or from toes to top of the head, as well as multiple measurements on the vehicle itself so that they can measure out with their optic the size of the target at distance.
Eyes up.
During the exercise, students use only their eyes to estimate how far the target is at 10 different distances, varying from 300 to 1,000 meters.
They teach us brackets. If it's in the 1 to 200 meter bracket, it's in the 2 to 300 meter bracket, and then we choose like if it's closer to 300 or to 200.
It's still a challenge to do by eye, but using the reticle, as long as you have proper measurements, it's all just math.
When using their scopes, students are taught to use the Mill relation formula, which takes the height of the target in inches, multiplied by a constant, and then divided by the target's height in mils. The resulting number is the distance to the target in meters. To be successful, their estimates must be within 5% of the actual distance, and they must accurately record at least 14 out of the 20 ranges to pass their graded exercise. Of the class we observed, 2 students failed. They have one more opportunity to pass, or they'll be dropped from the sniper course.
It's an extremely important skill to be able to range estimate accurately as a sniper, because we may not be in an environment that is permissive enough to allow us to use technology to estimate our range to our target. So snipers need to know how to be able to measure and do the Mill relation formula in order to determine their range to target.
All right, turn around. Get in the prone. Eyes down.
During target detection training, students scan a field in front of them for 10 military-related items that have been strategically hidden by instructors, some as small as a couple of inches.
Target detection is a sniper's ability to detect anomalies in their environment. We run them through a series of exercises here at the schoolhouse that reinforces their searching patterns, searching techniques, and their ability to actually pick up on anomalies.
Using their eyes, scopes, and binoculars, the class is given 40 minutes to search for the objects in a 10,000 square meter field, and must accurately locate and record at least 7 to be successful.
Honestly, it's only difficult if you're looking for items. If you don't look for something specific and you just scan the area, they'll pop out at you because the human eye hates patterns. So when you see a disruption in a pattern, it pops out at you.
Students are taught several scanning techniques and look out for various target indicators such as shine, shape, texture, and contrast to the background environment.
The human eye naturally scans left to right, top to bottom, and one thing that they hit on that was really big was scanning bottom to top, right to left. It kind of forces your mind to not go its natural path. You pick up things a lot easier.
Looking around this area right here and realizing the way the bark naturally looks, they see this natural difference right here where the pattern's messed up and there's no longer any bark. And focusing a little bit more on it, you're able to find the texture of the plastic, the color doesn't add up, it's not that gray or that black anymore, you got a little bit of a green. Might catch some kind of sheen coming off of it.
Of the class we observed, 1 student failed and was dropped from the sniper course. Fieldcraft skills such as target detection are vital to their future careers as snipers.
If you see anything of note, you log it down in one form or another. As a sniper, you're always doing that throughout an entire mission. So ultimately, that is the most important job of a sniper, and it's the one that's ultimately most valuable to the commander because now he's getting a better picture of the objective or the battlefield.
Fieldcraft training culminates with stalk events, where pairs of students must navigate through wooded terrain to observe their assigned target without being spotted by the instructors walking around them, or by those observing from afar with binoculars. Students perform 4 practical stalk training exercises before moving on to graded events. The class we observed was participating in their first practical exercise. They're given 10 minutes to prepare themselves and their equipment. The class covers themselves in natural vegetation that matches their surroundings, utilizing hair ties and 550 cord that they've glued to their ghillie suits.
In order to truly blend in with your environment, to get rid of the human signatures of the sides of the head, shoulders, the areas that are distinguishable, you have to tie in vegetation to your foreground, background, everything around you.
We just put like a real thick base layer on and took off towards the objective.
Once the event begins, students have 2 hours to reach an area from which they can observe their target, which in this case was a truck. And they must utilize the movement techniques they've been taught to stay out of sight.
Freeze, you two.
What do you think you look like right now walking through the woods? Stupid dude with a dude in a ghillie suit.
So if a team is trying to rush up to the objective, like not moving tactically or in the movement techniques that they have been previously taught, we'll stop them, we'll take their roster numbers down, and they'll get docked 10 points. And they'll also get moved back 100 meters or a terrain feature away, whichever one is further, and have them restart after explaining what they did wrong.
They can also get spotted by the observers watching from the back of the truck with 10-power binoculars, who then direct instructors walking in the woods to the student's location.
Yeah, Roger, it's probably this guy right here that I got my flag on. He was facing away from the truck, so it's probably his back that you saw. All right, so you guys tracking, right? Yo, so thick is good, right? Getting in that thick spot is good, but you're playing a dangerous game, right? Because you're mixing the potential of overhead movement. And look how close you guys are to the objective. You are way too close to be causing this much movement.
It was kind of a shock to everyone how easily they could spot us.
Once the students reach a spot in which they're able to view the truck, they set up their final firing position, camouflaging themselves and their equipment to match their new surroundings. They must then observe and correctly record a scenario that takes place, which in this case included 2 instructors setting up and firing a mortar round.
They're annotating and formulating what they observed into what we call a salute report, as well as generating a call for fire request.
The students then have to accurately identify 2 letters held up by the observers on the back of the truck.
You might know Harbor Freight for affordability. What you might not know is performance and...
Letter is up. Letter is up on time. Shooter, you got an ID?
Juliet.
Time. What was it?
Juliet.
Good ID. Good ID.
But in order to pass the exercise, the students must evade detection by the observers scanning for them, which can be easier said than done.
So I've got apex of the triangle on top of the spotter's head. You guys are standing in the open with the sun on your back, right? That naturally is going to cast shadow or catch glint off your optic. You were able to observe the scenario and you both PID'd the letter. That's good. That's really good. That's what we want. But none of that matters if you guys are able to be seen.
By the end of the practical exercise we observed, none of the participating students received a passing grade.
I think a lot of them went in with maybe a little bit too much confidence, and they thought, well, it looks pretty thick, so I'm sure they won't see me. The problem is the instructors that work here currently, they have a lot of experience, both real world and here at the schoolhouse.
It's a challenge. It was pretty frustrating, but at the end of the day, I think that I'm more motivated now than before because I know that I need to improve on things. So I definitely have things I need to focus on to get better, but I'm excited to do the next rep.
This class will have 3 more practical stalk exercises before starting their graded events, of which they'll have 3 opportunities to pass. But according to the Army, the majority of students from this class did not pass their graded stalk events and were dropped from the course.
Sergeant Terry,
On average, just 47% of the 288 students who are accepted to the sniper course each year end up graduating. Those who are able to successfully complete the course will go on to teach the skills they've learned to the junior soldiers in their unit and could be deployed into combat as snipers immediately if necessary.
It's extremely rewarding to watch a soldier that has a small understanding of the weapon platform or the techniques to employ as a sniper. And once they graduate the course, their ability to perform as a sniper is outstanding.
Hurry up! He's moving!
These U.S. Army Sniper Course students are as the Ghillie Wash, which happens in week 2 of the sniper course.
Hurry up! He's moving!
I've debated doing this when I was pinned down by a sniper in Afghanistan, taking my helmet off. If that's your last resort and all you're trying to do is locate a sniper's position, but there's no way that enemy sniper would have hit that though. My name's Nicholas Irving. I'm a former U.S. Army Ranger Special Operations Sniper. I'm also known as the Reaper for my 33 confirmed kills in Afghanistan. Today I'm back again to look at some more sniper scenes from TV and film and judge how real they are.
I may have a shot.
Absolutely not. She's offhand, like there's no support. It's all muscling it in to make that shot. And that gun, well, yeah, that's, no. The Olympic Arms, K-23B is what it is. That weapon is like literally accurate for, you know, up to like 50 meters. That distance looks like it's about, at most, a couple of 100 yards. Put it back in the case and go back and get a different one.
Workplace is shutting down, but no worries. Connect Team's all-in-one employee management app has everything you love about Workplace and a whole...
It's not clean. Repeat, I do not have a clean shot.
Yeah, I don't think she had a clean shot at all. In the military, a clean shot would be you're not going to wound or injure or kill something you don't intend to. If her target is one of those two men, that bullet, you know, it's a 5.56, it's going to zip right through the bad guy and potentially wound or kill the guy she's trying to help out or save.
I say take the shot. I can't. I'm aiming it on. Take the bloody shot.
If I was forced to take the shot, I'll pull the trigger, but I'm not going to guarantee you anything. Luckily, the train does kind of like come towards her as opposed to moving left to right. That takes out so much more of the mathematics behind making a shot. When it's moving closer or away from you, it's all about just aiming above the target or a little bit below the target, as opposed to, you know, aiming in front of it and having that individual essentially run into the bullet. I would rate it a 1. Like, it's just not happening at all.
It was a 1.
That little good tactical deep breath pause, you know, before the shot was really good. To be more precise, you essentially have to be calm. And one of the easiest ways to calm your body down or right before a shot is to just take deep breaths and get the blood circulating. I would have got more square behind the rifle as opposed to like having my legs off to the side like that. Maybe got down like in a squatting stance or on my knees and kind of put my weight behind the gun. That way when it recools, it's kind of more of a straight back motion and not this motion. He's gonna pretty much get that just because of his body alignment and the way he's holding the rifle. There you go. Yeah, I think it was smart for him to let the vehicle get closer to him. Everybody thinks being a sniper, we want the longest, furthest shots, but ideally you want the closer ones just because it makes your job that much easier. And it, you know, it's almost like a 100% guarantee you're gonna hit. But with that, if I'm protecting someone and I shoot the vehicle within, you know, a few yards from him, the guy is still gonna get hit by the moving vehicle. I don't like that the car just did a triple axle like 20 feet from the guy. Like, that's not how that works at all. The only moving vehicles that I've shot, I was a machine gunner, and I've never once made a car flip over. Normally they just crash into a wall or crash into another parked car, just roll off the side of the road into the desert. I'd give it a 6. The only thing that's pulling me back, or giving it a lesser number, is because of the sniper waiting for the car to get closer. I mean, as far as being a highly accurate sniper rifle, concealed as a flute, I don't think so. There's a lot of big things on a sniper rifle that makes it accurate, but the barrel is like really important. And most barrels on sniper rifles are fluted and floated. There's like no interference between the barrel and the stock of the gun as to not like interfere with the harmonics when it goes off. That flute looks like one continuously long object. It probably is accurate, maybe at the distances that he's shooting at, but I also don't know what caliber he's shooting. But it's Tom Cruise, so he's probably really accurate. I'd give the female sniper the best position. Whatever she's in, that little room or the designs on the walls, I think that really gives her an advantage. It almost is like shooting out of a loophole. It's like a tactic snipers used overseas where you punch a small hole through a wall or something, and a sniper would back away from the wall and shoot through that hole to hit an object outside. The guy with the shades on, he's not really in a concealed position, but I guess he's using his attire to make him least stand out. Worst position, I'd have to say Tom Cruise. Any sniper rifle can be suppressed, even up to like 50 caliber sniper rifles. You're still gonna hear like a noise. It sounds like a clap, a loud clap, or if you took a ruler and smacked it on a desk, unless you use like subsonic rounds, which he may be using in this instance where I could see nobody else would really hear anything. Shooting lights are actually extremely hard to do. Like, that was one of our things overseas sometimes when an assault team is going up on a building, they want the light shot out for them to make it dark, and it's actually pretty tough because it blurs out everything, and it's hard to find exactly, I guess, where the middle is at. So I'll give it a 5. Those shots are possible, but I don't think that this scenario setup is that realistic. I grew up watching this movie. It's like one of the reasons why I wanted to become a sniper. Every sniper, you have your rifle and you have your ghillie suit. What it essentially does is break up the outline of the human body and mimics or makes you appear to be brush or foliage. But it's not just the ghillie suit that's what makes you camouflage. What you're gonna really wanna do is put a bunch of natural vegetation into the ghillie suit so you look more like the natural surrounding as opposed to just this big pile of ghillie suit.
5 on the legs.
You have the spotter and you have the sniper. The spotter is the one who's not pulling the trigger and he's holding up or using a spotting scope. Through his, it looked like a red dot camera thing or something like that, and that's just not what it looks like. Either you're gonna have a reticle that
Your business tech should be easy, fast and intuitive, and built to work.
All right, Jungle, are you able to continue training?
I'm not sure.
Jungle, that's a yes or no question. Are you able to continue training?
This is the Army's Jungle Operations Training Course.
Get that weapon, squad leader, get that weapon!
Each year, over 40% of those who start won't make it to the end.
Why'd you join the Army?
I joined the Army because I wanted to go to war.
The United States is a Pacific power, and we are here to stay.
It's no secret, China is the pacing threat for the U.S. military. We've got an incredibly relevant mission. We have the opportunity out here to prepare for a terrain that's probably the most difficult environments that we can imagine.
Welcome to the jungle, or as they call it in jungle school, the J.
Just another day in the J.
Alright, so same thing with wildlife, right? So 50% of everything in the jungle is trying to kill and eat you. Same thing goes with our plants, right?
It's one of the first lessons students learn at jungle school, that 50% of everything in the jungle is trying to kill you. In the J, visibility is limited, and movement is slow and methodical. There are no jungles on the U.S. mainland. That's why training happens here, on the island of Oahu in Hawaii. Though the island is known for the tranquil beaches of Waikiki and the big surf of the North Shore, one only has to look inland to see a vast jungle canopy, which is why the Army trains soldiers for jungle fighting at the 25th Infantry Division's Lightning Academy near the town of Wahioa. On day 1, 80 students report for training.
SANDOV.
Only 51 will make it to graduation. The rest are dropped during the 12-day course by failing one of 5 critical tests.
All right, first rank, go ahead, stand up with your LA-100s.
Students must pass them all and survive 3 straight days in the jungle in a culminating exercise. Only then will they graduate and receive the coveted jungle tab.
Hey, hurry up, jungle, let's go!
8 students are instantly dropped from the course because they failed to arrive with the 27 critical items on the packing list, but their spots are backfilled with students on a wait list.
You have 3 minutes. 3 minutes to dump everything out of your bags. They don't have to look pretty, jungle. All right, just dump all of your stuff. If you have any tobacco products, all right, dip, snuff, vapes, cigarettes, cigars, whatever it is, anything that goes along those lines, it gets put in the amnesty box. You have 7.5 minutes to pack up all of your gear. Your other counterparts at half the class, they did it in 7. I'm giving you an extra 30 seconds because you have a straggler with you. 2-5.
The instructors don't address the students by name. Instead, each student is assigned a roster number, which is essentially their name for the rest of jungle school.
Why did you decide to come to JOTC?
Well, I'm a sergeant now, and I have soldiers who follow me, and I have to show them that if I can do it, they can do it. So it's more of leading the way.
Could you walk me through this again?
It just has to flip through itself.
Roger, okay.
It's time for the first critical test.
All right, Generals, next knot we're gonna go over here is the slip figure 8.
Knots.
All right, there's a 30-second knot. Execute, execute, execute.
The students are timed on their ability to correctly tie a series of knots that they're expected to master before showing up to jungle school.
The round the body bone line with a double figure 8.
They'll use the knots later in the course to create life-saving rope systems in the jungle.
3, 2, 1. Hands off.
Instructors walk around and inspect each knot. Number 25 takes a knee because he failed one of the critical knots. But that doesn't mean he's dropped from the course. He'll get one more chance in a retest on day 2.
I felt awful, like I was an idiot. But I just took it as they hold me to the standard. They're not going to let anything slide. And just grateful that I get a chance to show that I can do it right.
The rest of the squad is going to be tying the around the body bone line, like Sergeant Witt had it, and they're going to move up, and the platoon commander is going to hook him up on the other side of that knot, and they're going to send him. She's going to send him across. Understood. Okay. All right.
I'm a first-generation immigrant, and my parents always taught me how to prove one's Americanness, and so I grew up alongside military service members, and so I was really inspired and motivated by responding to a calling that's greater than one's, self-interest.
This is the toughest operational environment that you'll ever operate in. A soldier cannot fight in the jungle until that soldier learns to survive in the jungle. That same soldier must use the jungle as a friend, not as an enemy. With proper training, a soldier can become a skilled jungle fighter.
There's no pay increase for soldiers with the jungle tab.
We tried to tell Mayor Wu her ideas would only make things worse, but she ignored us.
self-interest.
Urgency. That's all we ask. So easy. Do what you're asked to do, be at the right place, at the right time, in the right uniform, with the right equipment, and move with a sense of urgency. That's all we ask. So easy.
Day 1 may have been easy for most, but Day 2 will prematurely end 11 more students' time in jungle school.
All right, Jungle, you're in about 30 seconds. We're gonna start testing, all right?
The knots retest begins before the sun comes up. Number 25 has to pass if he wants to remain in jungle school.
Hey, go ahead and get to ready ropes. The next knot we're gonna test on here is the round the body bow line.
This is the knot number 25 failed to tie on Day 1.
Execute, execute, execute. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands off.
Because he used to be. I'll go look for it after this. I don't know how it's like.
This time I passed, so I showed that I can learn. Could not get a wink of sleep last night. Absolutely terrified, but doing things even when you're afraid or even when you're not sure, that's how you move forward.
Only one student failed the retest.
JIs are going to come through and they're going to do spot checks on you. 31.
And another withdrew from the course for administrative reasons. 78 are left to take on the second of the 5 critical tests, the Jungle 5K.
All right, Jungle. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Students have 40 minutes to complete a 5-kilometer run on a road with significant elevation changes while wearing a load-carrying vest and carrying their replica rifles known as rubber duckies.
Jungle! Almost done.
There's no retest for the Jungle 5K. This is the students' only chance to pass and stay in the course. Of the 78 students, 6 failed to finish in time, including number 25.
It's good right here.
Bring the rain, hide my tears.
Tell me what happened.
So I was running the 5K, started out pretty strong actually, and then I don't know what it was. Could not catch my breath, had to walk. Felt like somebody was just giving me a big old bear hug.
Are you disappointed?
Oh, absolutely. I wanted to keep going, so kind of sucks on day 2 to call the family and say, hey, pick me up, I failed. Take care.
Jungle school is over for number 25, but continues for the remaining 72 students who get a quick meal before their next test.
Straight to dessert?
Straight to dessert, no time. Get the sugars in. Killed a lot of glycogen on that run. Don't want to go into shock when you hit the pool.
Are you teaching us jungle nutrition?
I'm teaching you everything nutrition, son.
I am actually most worried about the swim event.
Son.
I am actually most worried about the swim event, but I've also been practicing, and so I am cautiously optimistic.
I don't know how people join the fucking military and they don't know how to swim. Actually, how the fuck they even
The students head to the pool at Schofield Barracks for the 3rd critical test.
Welcome to the combat water survival.
Barracks for the 3rd critical test.
Welcome to the combat water.
Schofield Barracks for the 3rd critical test.
Welcome to the combat water survival assessment. We're looking for proficiency inside the water.
The test has 4 stages.
Jungle! Jungle!
The Don and Ditch.
All right, Jungle, enter the pool. Jungle!
A high dive jump, a 2-minute water tread, and a 50-meter swim. While the first 2 stages move quickly, the physical toll taken by the Jungle 5K begins to catch up with the students.
You're good. Dude, just too tired.
Okay.
No, it's not. I just failed. It's okay.
I'm not a really
I
good
knew you
swimmer,
wasn't looking
and
good.
I feel like I exert way too much energy while treading. I knew I was coming up like on the last seconds, so I just really wanted to, as soon as they say stop, I can just hurry up and grab the wall. It's relieving. Definitely the swim and the 5K. Those were my 2 biggest worries coming into this. And after I completed those, I think we got 2 or 3 more events, qualifying events coming up, which not too worried about.
Who are my weak swimmers?
The swim test is over for some, but because he identified as a weak swimmer, number 56 has to go last.
Jungle!
Jungle! You see visible signs of struggle. After that one warning, you're a no-go if I have any questions. Into the water. Away from the wall. Away from the wall. Away from the wall. All right, come out, boys. Bring it out, Mom. You're not swimming on your chest. You got it. Stay calm. Here you go. Here you go. Keep going. All right, cool.
After passing the 2-minute tread, only one stage remains.
Come on, stand up, 5'6". You're good. Stand up. You're strong.
Are you able to continue training?
I don't say fucking no, you pussy. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It's crazy.
Jungle, that's a yes or no question. Are you able to continue training?
Yes.
Okay, Jungle, go ahead and move forward. Hey, Jungle, I'm gonna put you in lane 1 right there. All right? Enter the pool. Jungle, enter the pool.
Just jump in. Can't swim for shit.
My body just couldn't exert anymore, and so I became more exhausted. I think it was because of how quickly everything progressed. My exhaustion just became worse more quickly. I already knew that I was worried, but I was trying to keep calm. And it was just at that last few seconds that I just panicked a little. I'll try not to break down and cry. Frankly, I feel devastated because this was something that I had prepared for, for months. I do not like to quit. I also recognize my limitations. And so harking back to that moment will certainly be a motivation for me to succeed the next time.
5 students are dropped from the course after failing the swim test. The rest return to Camp Lightning to continue training.
So who's done land nav out here on East Range? How was it? Sucked.
The next critical test is land navigation.
All right, so land navigation. Somebody read that for me?
2 biggest threats to us in the jungle. The first was navigation, the second, the enemy.
Jungle. What does that mean to you?
Means it was very easy to get lost, and when you got lost, you also didn't know where the enemy was. And if you were lost, you just walked into those ambushes.
Thank you.
The students have to plot geo-coordinates on a map and plan their routes to get from point to point using only the map, a compass, markers, and a protractor, and no GPS devices. The students train here on East Range, 10 square miles of thick vegetation and treacherous terrain.
So what makes land navigation challenging out here at East Range is the terrain we have. When we first get in the Army at basic training, they teach us about dead reckoning, shooting your azimuth and walking in a straight line a certain amount of meters, which is almost impossible out here because of our terrain. You go 100 meters on one direction, you're gonna hit a cliff. You go 100 meters in another direction, you're gonna hit a 200-foot decline, and then another 200-foot incline on the other side.
The actual test isn't until day 6, so the students have some time. But what little time they have should be used wisely, because more students will be dropped because of the land nav test than any other test in the course.
What are you going to do if you hear a whistle blast?
Echo it. Echo your whistle.
What are you going to do if you come upon an injured student?
Day 3 begins with a land navigation practice test. Students are paired up and given 2 points to find in 3 hours.
Where's the first point? First point's right here. Second point's right here.
While they can't use GPS devices, Each student gets a device known as a dog collar during land nav, so the instructors can know their location in case of emergency.
47A, 42. After you plot your points, you want to create a nice route, but when it's like boots on the ground, everything changes.
The students quickly find that out during their first real taste of the J.
Going back up.
Stuff can happen out there in the jungle. It was good to go out and see the terrain and actually see how much it slows you down. It's crazy how long it can take you to move a click out here versus just a click on the mainland.
On the whole way back, I'm like, I want Sergeant Bostic to take me out there and show me how he would have done this, because I suck at land nav, clearly.
The students are learning small unit
I'm getting
tactics,
heat flashes, bro. Like, it's hot as fuck for no reason.
like how to move and communicate without being detected in the jungle.
You see how important hand and arm signals are? They are very important because that's how every single one of you in a squad is going to be tracking what's going on.
It's very important to rehearse, right? The moment when you think you know, that's when you're fucked up. Oh shit. That's when you're messed up, all right?
Stay in your lane!
LOA!
LOA!
Alright, take a knee, guys.
Hey, watch that barrel back there, jungle.
And then Alpha Team takes contact from the right-hand side of the direction of travel.
With no critical tests until day 6, the students finally have a chance to relax.
One of the routes that are on one of those hills to just snap when you're walking up or down.
Oh, absolutely.
Dude, like
Those
so
things
many
are
people,
lifesavers, though.
Yeah.
There's some gnarly rocks out there for sure. Oh, where we went today, I almost damn near broke my ankle. It's good times.
Of the 67 students left in the class, 47 are based in Hawaii. The other 20 are from the 82nd Airborne Division, based in Fort Bragg, North Carolina.
Sometimes I wish I would have went aviation.
Seriously.
Like, oh, it looks like a really gnarly jungle down there.
Yeah, I know. Fly over there.
Some green down there.
Every time we're in the bird, getting ready for jumping, I just see the Lodi. Smiling, doing his thing, stepping on my knees, like crawl over us. I'm like, damn, I could pick that job. Like, watch all these dumb airborne dudes jump out of the plane.
The Jungle School hosts a cross-section of soldiers at different stages of their careers, both enlisted and officers, like roster number 1, a first lieutenant.
How long have you been in the Army?
2.25 years now.
Okay, how old are you?
33.
That's it. Wow. So you started kind of late, huh?
Yeah, I did a full change of career. I did the OCS route, so I went to basic OCS. Full change of career for me.
Nice. What would you do before?
I was the director of a hospital clinic.
The highest-ranking student in the class is number 5, a lieutenant colonel and senior intelligence officer with nearly 2 decades of time served in the Army.
So I came to Jungle School just to get a little bit of hands-on experience with the environment and the conditions that our soldiers will fight in the Pacific Theater, because I want to have a better appreciation so I can do a better job at doing my job as their senior intelligence officer. And to get to hang out with junior soldiers in the field, cold, wet, hungry, you know, everybody a little equally miserable, is fantastic. A rank does not matter here. The jungle treats everyone the same.
Hey, drop the red car!
240, I want it right here, on the right side. Watch the goddamn goat. Watch out, RTO.
It's hard not to notice the presence of one of the most experienced students in the class, number 23.
Hey, look at my eyes, Jungle. I'll be looking for you out there.
You ever seen Platoon?
Have I seen Platoon? Are you kidding me?
He was Platoon.
I was Platoon. My entire life is Platoon.
All right. Go ahead. Hey, form up. Direction of travel is that way.
A first sergeant with 17 years served, an Army sniper, ranger, and ranger instructor. 37 years old and 3 years away from retirement. Why would he volunteer for Jungle School?
I think it's very important for senior leaders to continue to put themselves in these kind of situations. They're showing their men that they can still do it, and you're not just the one, you know, barking orders all the time. You're still able to get out here and get dirty, you know?
Why'd you join the Army?
I joined the Army because I wanted to go to war. Yeah, that's all I wanted to do.
And did you?
10 times.
Where have you been?
I have been to Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan multiple times. I think around 10 deployments.
He wears a silver silver bracelet in memory of friends killed in action.
Charlie 6, Charlie 7 rodeo. We're in contact. Walter, no fire support. 240. We need some air.
It may seem like these soldiers are playing war with their neighborhood friends in the backyard.
Roger, contact.
But what's happening in the real world in this exact moment is no game. On this same day, the Department of Defense announced it would increase the U.S. military's presence in the Philippines amid rising tension with China.
How do you think that impacts the sort of significance of what's happening at Jungle School here at Lightning Academy?
Good. I mean, my opinion on, ramping things up and going to war is always going to be good. That's what I want to do. I mean, peace is a good thing, but I joined the military to go to war, so.
American jungle troops. In the Canal Zone, Uncle Sam trains new commando-type troops whose American designation is Bushmasters.
For decades, the Army trained jungle warfare at a school in Panama.
The Jungle Warfare course is structured in a building block approach.
But that school closed in 1999 when the military's focus shifted to the Middle East.
The United States is a Pacific power, and we are here to stay.
Under President Obama, the military's focus shifted back to the Asia-Pacific region. And in 2013, the Jungle School reopened in the Rainbow State. Today, the course is open to all military branches and foreign allies. Priority is given to personnel based in the Indo-Pacific Command Area of Responsibility. Some students in this course already have orders to head to the region, like number 67, another former Ranger instructor.
In the coming months after this course, I'll be going to the Philippines for about 2 months. It's awesome that when that announcement came out that I get to be part of the units to go down there, conducting all the training we'll be doing in the Philippines and the joint operations we'll be doing during that 2-month period.
50% of everything in the jungle is trying to kill you.
We have another punji pit, all right?
Not including the enemy.
And then once again.
On day 4, students learn about the different methods the enemy might use to try and kill them in the J, such as deadly booby traps.
And this will knock out 1 to 3 people.
And improvised explosive devices.
We're going to go over a basic level knowledge of how to apply and deploy camouflage. Don't forget your guys' teeth and your tongue.
I better start getting some Chris Hemsworth money for all this camera time, you know what I mean? Whoa. Teaching these generations the lost arts.
So, the jungle specifically, without looking at it right now, I can tell you there's a pattern trace that it has, is everything grows up. So it's in that vertical stance where everything's up and down. So you want to try to avoid making patterns that go horizontal across your body if possible.
The students move in small units, looking for signs that an enemy has been in the area, known as spoor.
You see this? That's fresh, right?
Yep.
We found them, let's go.
After completing the tracking exercise, the students walk out of the J and head to the landing zone. But getting out of the jungle isn't always so easy, especially if there's a casualty.
All right, has anyone rode a jungle penetrator before? Cool. All right, so we have some guys. This is called the jungle penetrator. It's called such because it folds up nice and tight like this, so when we drop it down to hoist the patient, this will penetrate the jungle canopy. There's these little tabs here. Releases the little sked here that you can sit your butt on. So get in there nice and tight.
Students don't just get to look at the JP, they also get to ride it.
That was super fun. That was, a great morale boost, good experience. I'm a big fan of helicopters. Anytime I get to ride on a helicopter or be near one, I'm excited.
Once they're done, some students seize the opportunity to catch some Z's. They'll need their rest before day 5, when they'll head even deeper into the J.
I think it's not a lot of rope. As long as you can fit a carabiner through it, you're all right.
Remember the knots test on day 1?
Take both those loops, put them together.
It seems like such a long time ago.
You're going to tie a double-double, all right, with enough loop on the very end of that double-double that you can fit a carabiner through it.
But the real test is today. When students will use those same knots to safely rappel down treacherous gulches. Because in the J, there are no retests.
Jungle! Watch out, Jungle!
But what goes down must come back up.
They didn't teach us in the class, but you can do it. I'll go first. I'll be the guinea pig. If anything bad happens, it's early retirement, so it's a win-win, right?
There's this guy, I think number 23.
Yes, I think I know who you're talking about. He has a great impact on our morale.
See? You guys want to do something simple, and now we got to go off the backside.
He's uniquely qualified in that he's been an instructor at a school like this before. He was an instructor at Ranger School, and he's trying to bring some levity to the group. You know, everybody's cold, everybody's wet, everybody's a little miserable. And so if you take it too seriously, it's just not going to be any fun. And it's got to be fun.
You know what? You want to be Spotlight Ranger up there. That's okay. I got something for you later. Everyone's pretty nervous, right? And they're dealing with a lot of things, and they're going through all this shit. And my whole thing is like, if you're gonna focus on those things, it's gonna be hard, right? Making people laugh, then when it's downpouring on us and storming like that, I mean, that might be just what they needed, you know? It's also what I need, so there's that. I gotta keep joking to keep myself going as well.
Bye.
The letter's in my...
Stop. You don't break back here?
Nope, right here.
So we have a lot of senior leaders that come through the course. This is one of very few times in their career that they don't get to be that senior leader. They just get to be a student. So they get to relax a little bit.
You want to be a smartass and talk a big game until you fall in the J.
Are you okay, Jungle?
Hey, why don't you stay tactical up there?
Because I'm an instructor and I'm trying to make sure that you are okay. I saw you fall.
But sometimes they take it a little too far because they haven't had that much slack before. So sometimes we got to be able to reel it in and just let them know they have to calm down.
While rappelling in a wet jungle requires total concentration, these students better not forget what awaits them tomorrow, their next critical test, land navigation.
1173. 1271.
It's the fourth of 5 critical tests,
1370.
one that will cut 12 more students from the course.
Getting 4 grids, you must come back with 2 to pass.
The students have 5 hours to find a minimum of 2 of the 4 grid points. Anything less than 2, or returning after the time limit, results in a no-go, and there is no retest for land nav.
What are you doing there?
Just burning the ends so it doesn't fray off and then just go all over the place pretty much.
Number 14 is paired with number 69, who's back at jungle school after failing the critical rope systems test back in December. But he did pass land nav.
So how did the land nav test go for you back in December when you went through?
Oh, it was easy. I didn't get all the points, but I got 3 out of 4 of them.
So you feeling pretty confident about this?
Walk me up, let's go.
We could hit 1. Do like a 1, 3, 2 type of deal. Or no, we should probably get 1 first, so we can do 1, 3, and then backtrack. We'll just do 1 first.
We attached a camera to number 69 to see the test from his and number 14's perspective.
Oh, that's too fucking easy.
You know Harbor Freight for affordability. but durability goes right along with it. You see, we test, and then we test again. Now, it's time for you to put us to the test. Whatever you do, do it for less at Harbor Freight.
This game, you're not ready for it.
You're in the middle of this beautiful sci-fi environment, and you're seeing intrigue, the espionage, the alliances form, the power that shifts around, and it's amazing to watch.
Right, this is primary, Julia, secondary. Simple actions can have massive effects.
You can cooperate with people, compete with them, make friendships, deceive them, betray them.
It's amazing to think that it's all just other players.
More players start coming. It just starts this complete cascade of actions, and you don't know what's going to happen.
It is a free-for-all. We'll get locked up and shot instantly. People start dying left, right, and center. It's just something that you can't get anywhere else. It's just the rush like no other.
Everybody's on this journey and writing their own stories, and that is probably the simplest way I can describe it.
Things continue to change and evolve. It's awesome. I love it. Part of Eve.
Do you feel like having somebody that's already been through it pretty recently and says it's going to be easy? How does that make you feel about this test?
Like a easy breezy. I mean, I was already feeling confident about it in general, just because I already ran through the course like twice. But since he already knows his way around the land, shit, it helps out a lot.
So we should see you guys back here pretty soon.
Hopefully.
You haven't paid him.
No, I'm not. I'm probably gonna get fired.
Promoted.
At 0700, the test begins.
Well, there's another trail that'll cut through.
14 and 69 took a more conservative route.
I'm pretty sure it's like right off that main drag. So we basically just need to break this brush line right here. I think this is the trail I remember.
Back at camp, instructors monitor the students' locations using GPS tracking devices.
So they have a corresponding dog collar matching their roster number. We go to the dog list on the tracker. We want 23, click on 23, and it will navigate straight to where he is. He is right here, right in this, wherever that question mark is. That means that's his last known ping.
Instructors patrol the jungle to make sure the students aren't breaking the main rule. They can't walk on the roads. Any student caught breaking this rule is known as roadkill.
0974 roadkill.
2 roadkills, and they fail.
Okay, maybe this isn't the trail I fucking thought it was. Oh.
You know the trail, right? Or what is it?
Which way you want to go? This way or that way?
We're in this area right here.
So.
Okay.
I think we're heading in the right direction to keep hand railing this.
Yep.
To the open area.
I don't think this is heading the right way. Hold on. I don't think. Well, I mean, there's a trail down there.
I wonder if you look like a Hopper from Stranger Things.
Oh my god, I get that all the time. Oh fuck, I thought there was a path here. I thought there was a path here. Oh fuck, yeah, this stops here. Alright, we're gonna have to go down. Sweet Jesus. Oh, this is about to suck. Oh, jabbed in the fucking eye. Oh shit, this would be an easier way to get up. Hell yeah.
We made it, we passed, we got 2 out of 4 points, so very happy with that. It was good. The weather was awful. It was pouring, lightning, thundering. That definitely made it pretty difficult.
Our goal today was at least 2 because we wanted to pass. We found 2 within an hour, so we're like, let's go for another. Found the third one, another like 20, 30 minutes. So we're like, we have like 3 hours left. Might as well go for all 4. And so we felt pretty good going into coming back, and it felt great to just get this last like big test.
So for you guys, you can collect your gear.
But the test wasn't as easy for some, like number 5.
You know, we just had bad luck today. We were able to pick up our first point pretty quickly, and then we got to our second points area, and we, you know, just spent 2.5 hours looking for it, and we just couldn't find it. So we're dropped, and it is what it is. These things happen. I'll pack up and I'll head home, and I'll get to see my wife and kids today, so that's the bonus. Kind of bittersweet, right? You know, a little bit of a bummer, but, you know, life goes on, and I'll be back at work on Monday.
Among the 12 students who failed the land nav test.
All right, thanks for chatting with me, though.
Number 14.
Yeah, give Sam a second to get you focused up, and we'll get going here. Tell me what happened today.
Well, we're going smoothly to our first point. We got our first point. It took us a little more time than we wanted to, but it was like not a problem. And then started downpouring a lot, and just made it hard to find our second point.
At what point did you realize we're not going to find it in time?
We were looking for that point up until 11:40. We're like 2.5 hours. We're probably looking for that point with like no luck.
So how do you feel right now?
Not too bad actually. Like I've only been here. This is my first time coming to this course. First time ever seeing like the jungle out here. So I'm definitely going to be back at a later point. This gives me like a good look on what I should be ready for next time.
Number 23 wouldn't let us interview him on camera until he passed the land nav test.
How did your land nav test go today?
I did good. I'm not gonna lie though, I got beat up. I mean, I'm definitely feeling the effects of the terrain here. It's not easy, definitely not. I got paired with a 20-year-old younger version of myself. We're both strong rangers, and we could have made it a lot easier on ourselves, but we just, you know, hard charge forward right through the terrain. It doesn't matter, keep going.
His partner, number 59, part of the 82nd Airborne from North Carolina. After jungle school, he's heading to Thailand for joint training with the Royal Thai Army. That is, if he makes it out of the J.
Oh yeah, by the way, I had to go cold turkey off of dip in this course, so, you know, it's much harder for me than everybody else here. Off of dip in this course, so, you know, it's much harder for me than everybody else here.
Are you really missing it?
The first 2 days, I was definitely like, I could really use dip right now, but now I don't even give a shit.
The students practice making ruck rafts, wrapping their rucks with ponchos to create buoyancy. Number 23 got paired with an old friend.
We know each other for a very, very long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were ranger instructors together
Had no idea we were both in this course together.
I'm from Fort Bragg, and he's stationed there. It's just totally random.
Wow. We were on the same ranger instructor walk team. Funny how it all comes together.
All comes together.
I like the thought process, right? But you guys are too far from the dump tank.
No, we like pain. 3, 2, 1. You said right shoulder. Hold on. How well did you waterproof?
I'm waterproof.
Come on.
Ready?
3, 2, 1, go. Stop. Just fucking take it.
So what are you putting on there?
I couldn't find my fucking my powder
Just to keep
bag
it
that I
dry?
had. Yeah. Once again, if you don't use it, you lose it.
Does my shit look okay?
Looks great.
Okay.
They didn't get right away. It was
I can't tell, so.
Here. Looks like you have a black eye.
All right. My mirror is shot by the water.
The jungle took it.
The J.
The J.
In the J, sunshine is a rare commodity.
Oh, Bobby. Did you guys think I'm standing over here because I like the view?
I knew why you were standing over here.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to get a little vitamin D. Been lacking that a little bit lately.
50% of everything in the jungle is trying to kill you.
Get the most kills and bring home the win. Yeah, nice one.
It's overflowing through me like a flood. That's why they keep reaching out and they keep calling me the flood. Remaining. You win. Turn me up, turn me up, turn me up. Yeah, turn me up.
But it also has lots of things that can keep you alive.
There we go. Just lay it down. Good shit, boys.
Suck it, nature. And then we all get to go spend the night in the jungle together.
Students spend the morning inside Survival Village, where they learn about making fire, purifying water,
We're over here, it's just some bamboo lashed together.
building shelter,
All right, we have 3 bananas.
and about the types of food that can sustain them in the J.
God damn.
Dude,
You're supposed to share. You piece of shit.
Let me get some of that.
Here, you cut this one, please.
How was that?
Seriously?
It's really good.
Don't waste it.
Yeah. Oh, I dropped it twice. It's gone.
But in the J, not all food grows on trees.
Y'all come on in, make a horseshoe around these tables.
Wild chickens are abundant on East Range. so students are trained to kill or dispatch them and prepare them for consumption.
This is another event you have to participate in. If you refuse to train, you get dropped, all right?
Roger that. Roger that. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah.
Anybody have any hot sauce or salt?
Bon appetit, Fletchmeister.
Yes.
Me too.
Some king bread.
Quite good.
Oh,
Yeah.
How is it? Can you describe the flavor?
Very bland, but yet rewarding.
Where'd you score the Tabasco sauce? Was that in an MRE?
That was one of the MREs, yeah.
How is it?
It's not bad. Needs a little bit of seasoning, but right now I could eat anything.
I'm glad that the chickens died for our cause.
For the students that remain, it's been 7 straight days in the J, 7 days away from their day jobs, and for many of them, their families.
I'm married. I have 2 kids. My wife is pretty used to me having to go away, but when it's like a training thing that I'm volunteering to do, she probably gets a little upset, but she also knows it's very important, so.
For my wife, it's a huge impact. She's got to, take care of the kids all by herself. During the week, it's not so bad, just a normal routine of getting them ready, bringing them to school and daycare, and the normal stuff at night. But the weekends get real difficult with no one there to help her. Sometimes I come home just completely burnt out, and my wife is also burnt out at the same time. So, she's expecting all the help in the world, and I'm not physically ready to give all the help in the world, so.
For now, they'll have to get by with their jungle family, spending the night in the J, where they'll have to apply everything they've learned in Survival Village.
What is this guy?
Dude, that would be
Skink.
This would be great fishing bait.
Yeah, it would be.
How'd you guys sleep?
We were great. We were great.
We're just building a big jungle family out here.
Yeah.
I mean, I am.
What did you guys get to eat?
We picked about 12 oranges off a wild orange tree out there. Ate those, took the peels, put them in the canteen cups, made a little tea out of them.
At 7:30, have all your gear and be up on the road.
Roger that.
Radio back now.
We got to get to extraction now.
The last step of their survival practical exercise is building a signal fire with a smoke plume high enough to get the attention of a rescue aircraft.
Yeah, I'm not.
There we go. The fire's primary engineer, number 59. He's back in the J after going to the emergency room for a laceration on his leg that had to be stitched up. Breaking news from the mainland. President Biden ordered fighter jets to shoot down a Chinese spy balloon that had floated all the way from Alaska to South Carolina. With no internet access or cable TV, the jungle students were hearing about it for the first time.
Well, I just heard about it through you, from him, through you, and just kind of.
We were in my mind.
It's
It's the Zeppelin in like 1942. It's the big old Zeppelin.
You haven't seen a
That
picture
big.
of it, obviously, right? No.
No. We live in the J.
What does it look like?
We don't have
Not much news out
technology
here.
out here.
It's like it was just like a big circular, spherical, like white. It's like a weather balloon almost. With like a little electronic apparatus. It's like a payload on the bottom with below some, like, it, optics and sensors and stuff. And there's video of it getting shot down, like that people just took from Myrtle Beach with their iPhone. What was it shot down with? F-22.
Hellfire.
I forget which type of missile, but. Then I'm sure we went.
Contact!
So anywhere on this loop, it can be in the middle like mine.
With the tension building between the U.S. and China in real time, the stakes are also high at Camp Lightning, where the students will face the final critical test of jungle school, rope systems.
You're gonna bring it back through the carabiners. How do your carabiners need to be set up?
Fuck that to China, bro.
Opposite of post. So that means the spines are gonna be on. Keep your hands off for me, please, Jungle. Question over here.
So
yes.
I go bottom to top.
Students get one last chance to practice and ask questions about the two systems.
See how it starts on the left side?
The one rope bridge
My stack of the rope is on my left-hand side,
and the Z pulley.
so I shouldn't expect anybody to fail this. Jungle! 'Cause I'm a great teacher and I'm...
Hell yeah.
First up, the Z pulley.
All right, Jungles, let's go. Hurry up.
Next,
The rest of your group's waiting on you.
the one rope bridge.
All right, Jungle, go at this time. All right, go ahead and break down your station.
Congrats.
Thank you. Glad everything's over.
Yeah, does it feel like kind of a weight's been lifted?
Definitely.
Thank you, Jungle Sergeant.
So how do you feel now that you passed both of these?
Feel great, honestly. It's not. It ain't no joke going from just being in the field for 2 days and survival night, and I don't care who you are, and then you got to come do something technical like this. It's not easy.
I see you're good to go, 5-9. Just break everything down. Leave your ropes and carabiners outside of the bag right here, okay?
How's your leg doing? I saw you kind of favoring it there.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
No talking. All right, face the rope.
Oh wait.
I'm just gonna keep on going. We all got a pain, but this one's mine, so just gonna roll with it.
4 students were dropped for failing the final critical test, bringing the total number of students to 51.
Do you feel like a weight has been lifted?
I do. I definitely feel like a weight has been lifted. But there's more to go. Now comes the fun part.
Fun?
The fun part, yeah.
Enemy forces, the 496th Light Infantry Regiment of the Ethiopian Army has invaded the island of Oahu. Their goal is to harass and destroy friendly U.S. forces in order to force a retrograde from the Lilahua Plateau.
The class is divided into 4 squads, and the squad leaders are briefed on what they can expect during the final challenge of jungle school, the Culex.
The Culex is a 3-day culminating exercise. They get to utilize everything that they have been taught from day 1.
The enemy is also known to utilize ATV, Polaris, 4-wheelers, and Humvees.
They have a mission set that they will progress through each day until they eventually end up at the beginning of the Green Mile on the end of day 3.
Comms. All right, you have to figure it out. It's tough out there in the J, but I know FM works. FM comms work out here, all right?
Tired of typing tons of notes during class? There's finally a better way. It's called Otter. Let's say I'm in class. I just hit record, and as you can see, everything I'm saying is turning into a transcript as I talk in real time.
I'm doing multiple things out.
So we're gonna go down, rappel, down, rappel. Or no, we're gonna down, rappel, climb up, rappel one more time, and link in with third squad.
The students swap their rubber duckies for the real thing, M4 carbines that fire blank rounds.
Remember what you're fighting for, man. The United States of America is the team I play for. Hell yeah. What team do you play for? America! I want my kids to be so proud of me.
Let's make sure we take it slow, nobody gets hurt. Jungle 1 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Jungle 1!
Black Hawk helicopter flies the squad to a location on East Range meant to disorient them.
Jungle man, jungle 1.
When a squad takes enemy contact, there are 2 options: engage the enemy or break contact by moving to a place where they're no longer in danger. In this case, First Squad chose the latter, which meant heading deeper into the J. When it gets too slippery and steep, their only option is to sit and slide. The squad moves slowly and quietly. After about an hour, they haven't moved very far, only a couple 100 meters.
Jungle main, jungle 1, radio check over.
Contrary to what was said in the briefing, radios don't always work in the J.
Okay, we'll try again. Let me get the high ground.
Before long, the squad hits a point of no return. What started out as a shallow stream turned into a waist-deep mud pit.
It was tough going through that mud. Reminded me of high school wrestling.
Yeah, that was a perfect little route until this. So might as well just try to get up now.
The only way out is up.
We need to go take that trail.
The trail dies though.
Okay, well we need to go west.
After breaking contact again,
But I think we'll initiate with Alpha
it's time to find and engage the enemy.
and then swing right out. Got it?
Jungle Man, this is Jungle 1. Did you acknowledge my last? Over.
Everybody gotta die sometime, Red.
Number 23 has found them.
What?
As number 23 approaches the fallen enemy, his first instinct is to take the notebook sticking out of his back pocket. In jungle school, rank doesn't matter, but experience shines through.
Get some EPW and search going.
You found this? Very nice.
Hand it to you, squad leader.
I thought you found it.
That's their entire battle plan.
Nice. That's good shit.
I'm gonna need a raise as a private.
When you shop in the Star Market app, you can count on delivery in as soon as 30 minutes. Even if you can't count on your guest list staying small.
Come on in, come on in.
You're not gonna believe what happened. Tell me everything. I'll show you on Monday.com. So I started the biggest initiative of the quarter. I did everything right. I used AI blocks to list all the tasks, delegate them to the team, set up all the timelines. It even wrote perfect descriptions so everything was crystal clear. Clearly, you're a professional. Thank you. Suddenly, I get a message from leadership saying we need to finish the project a month before deadline. It happens every time. Good thing we have Monday.com. We just reshaped all the timelines, brought in freelancers to help, gave them some guest accounts. They had everything organized so they could just jump right in. We put up all the assets, waited for management to approve. Done. Everyone automatically got notified. We ended up reaching our goals 2 days before schedule and even under budget. We beat our projections for the quarter, everyone cheered for us, and I ended up being a hero. Wow, that's amazing. When you use Monday.com, work is just easier. Isn't that nice?
That's really nice.
It is
Honestly.
nice.
Enjoy the little things.
Yeah. Create your own personal success story on the first work platform you'll love to use. Monday.com.
It doesn't fucking matter. We ain't got time for that shit. Let's go. Boom.
Day 2 of the Cullex. A pattern emerges.
Got bundles.
Contact. Movement. More contact.
Get up, you.
And more movement.
We're like 200 meters away from the checkpoint 1.
Can we just go this way, right here?
You gotta keep eyes on the waterway.
The squad's next objective is to follow a waterway that leads to a tunnel, which is easier said than done.
The squad's struggling this morning. They didn't meet any of the time hacks. They were kind of just lousy and on mission this morning. Their discipline is very low.
What did you just say? Really? What was it? What did it hit?
After nearly an hour, the squad still hasn't found the tunnel. Their instructor had to point it out to them.
So who saw the tunnel? We were down on the river right after it was pointed out. Right after it was pointed out, everyone saw it. Who saw it before that? You got to keep your eyes sharp. Your brains need to be turned on all the time.
Push up, Nova, push up.
Malfunction on the side!
Along with their M4s. Each squad also carries the M249 squad automatic weapon,
Saw's malfunctioning!
known as the SAW, plus one more for backup.
Hey, let's fire at the tree. Let's fire at the tree. Get that weapon, squad leader. Get that weapon.
The roles of opposing or enemy forces are played by instructors, as well as members of the 82nd Airborne who were dropped earlier in the course.
I am one of the oppositions that they are killing and or capturing.
This was one of the students hit with a roadkill violation during the land nav test.
Now that you're just sticking around there using you in other ways?
Yeah, at my discretion. I'm just checking out the island and whatnot. So, it's not a bad gig.
What happened to the saw back there?
Malfunctioned. Always fucking happens. It's like 50-50 with it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. When it does, it's nice.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Russia.
Really?
Number 20's father was a captain in the Russian army. After 9/11, he moved to the United States and joined the U.S. Army as a private. She joined the Army 3 years ago and is now a first lieutenant.
What made you want to go to jungle school?
I've just always wanted to, I wanted to learn knots and, it's like survival skills and how to track, all these things. And the school taught me all that, so I think that's pretty cool. I'm enjoying my experience so far.
Right, you guys were just a mess to begin with. You need to slow down. You need to slow way down. You're going way too fast. You're not doing anything tactical, especially hand-arm signals. You guys are just out here talking, maneuvering around, yelling at each other, all right? I know I have a lot of negative things to say right now, but one thing I will say positively about you guys, all right, is you can freaking move. You guys were moving fast. A little too fast. You guys are moving fast.
How does it impact team morale when you get sort of a lot of negative?
I do not like to be told good things. I am a complete opposite. I like to be told all negative things.
So you liked that sort of the feedback from Razo?
I get fired up by getting told you're doing shitty. But I will say that's not I'm clearly different than maybe a lot of other people, how they feel. See that? Old Bob comes out when I touch the water.
Why do you call him Bob?
You never say his real name when you're in the shit, because then he'll go away. His big orange ball. B.O.B.
Jungle One radio check over.
A long way from Manhattan.
What's the CEO's name of Business Insider? Henry Blodgett.
Harry Blodgett?
Henry Blodgett.
Henry Blodgett? Henry Blodgett, come join us in the J. I'll let you hold my saw.
What is this, like a candy bar?
This is a first strike bar. It gives you the power to fight the J. At all times. At all times.
This is the Southwest beef and black beans.
Aside from their chicken dinner during survival training, the only food these students have eaten in 10 days has come from MREs, which stands for Meals Ready to Eat.
Great ideas can come from anywhere. With Wix, you decide where they go. Put your ideas into play with AI and watch them shape every aspect of your website. Explore as many layouts and designs as you want. Then zoom in and dictate the mood and vibe. And when it all comes together, launch your idea into the world where it belongs. It's your business, your website. You do it yourself on Wix.
Play War Thunder now. Join millions of players across the globe in massive battles on tanks, aircraft, and helicopters in the most extensive vehicle combat game ever made. Take control over the battlefield in ground vehicles, rain down rocket volleys in helicopters, dogfight your enemies in aircraft, and bomb whatever is left into the dust. Play on more than 1,500 authentic military vehicles from early World War II to present day. Experience the transition from historic biplane fighters and iconic World War II tanks to supersonic jets and modern battle tanks fighting alongside attack helicopters. Upgrade your vehicles, customize their appearance, and level up your crew to become the best commander on the battlefield. Download War Thunder now for free on warthunder.com, your PS4 or Xbox One.
Here it is. A little soft taco action.
Hey, don't.
Not bad.
After 2 days of the Culex, they'll need their strength for the final day of training. One more day in the J. After 2 days with First Squad, we finally linked up with Fourth Squad, which was being led by the injured number 59.
How's your leg, 59? Oh, wait a second. How's your leg doing?
Bleeding, but it's fine.
Bleeding? Yeah. How've the last 2 days been?
Very fun. I'm weird like that.
But 59 revealed he's not the only injured student in his squad. He told us that number 73 sustained an ankle injury.
I heard you hurt your ankle.
Yeah, a little bit, but I'm fine.
What happened?
I don't really know, but it's hurting me yesterday. Medics wrapped it up, and just trying to not focus on it today.
How's it going, 67? How are you feeling?
Wet, cold. It's alright though.
Hey, stop fucking shooting up here! We're not shooting at you. Yeah, you can't even see what you're shooting at.
First man, high ground.
Hey, someone grab Brunimer's rock. He's up here with security with me.
How was the rest of you guys' night?
We walked a long way, and then got rained on all night.
How was that?
Miserable. All of our stuff is completely wet, even before we started this today, so.
How's morale?
Oh, it's super high. Yeah. I think it's just that everyone knows that no matter how bad this day gets, it's gonna end, type thing. I have to go right back in the field Sunday, so I mean, whatever, but. Just keep grinding.
You seen much of Bob?
No. That son of a bitch. He's abandoned me. We used to have a great bond, him and I. Now, he's abandoned all hope in me.
Hey, let some slack on that.
No, you have to Z-pull him.
The squad has to create a Z-pulley rope system, the same one from their last critical test, to evacuate a simulated casualty from the bottom of a gulch. and they have to carry the casualty all the way to the next rally point. And after just a little more contact, they get a chance to refit before the final event of jungle school.
Get it.
The Green Mile.
Anybody care to take a guess as to why we do the Green Mile?
Something to do with a movie.
Nope, nothing to do with the movie.
I feel like it's just a rite of passage thing, you know?
I'm going to
that's exactly right.
Every other foreign country out there has a Green Mile, right? And it is a mile as the bird flies. Ours is about 2.5 miles as we walk it, all right? So it's our way to give back to the jungle for, hey, thanks for this great experience and all the knowledge that we've passed on, all right? So that is our thing, all right? Hey, Bostic, whenever you're ready. Incoming!
MRE isn't sitting well.
Throw your weapon. Throw it.
Man down! Oh shit. Nope. Fuck! Goddamn cameraman!
After the obstacle course, the squad moves through the J at a slightly faster pace. They have to climb a steep grade known as Cherry Guava Hill, using nothing but cherry guava trees to hold on to until they get to a fixed rope at the top. The squad encounters a litter loaded with gear that they have to carry the rest of the way.
Slow it down if you're gonna fuck it up!
Come on, Jungle, let's go!
Get to the chopper!
Yeah, there it is.
Hey, business owner, tired of wasting hours on scheduling, attendance, and payroll? Connect Team's here to simplify all of that for you. With Connect Team's auto scheduling, your schedules practically fill themselves, handling conflicts and tracking availability while updating the right people about changes and keeping labor costs in check. But great schedules need more than just time slots, so add tasks, forms, and checklists that ease communication, making sure your team isn't just showing up, they're getting the job done. When your employees clock in and out, everything syncs automatically to their timesheets, so all the hours you spent matching times and fixing mistakes are yours again. And when it's payroll time, simply export the timesheets to your accountant or payroll provider, and that's it. Ready to get hours of your day back? Go to connectteam.com and make it happen.
EVE Online is a vast universe, alive with the unrelenting activity and combined history of its players. Pursuing lives of adventure, warfare, and prosperity, they share this existence in the biggest single shard, free-to-play MMO of all time. Set 21,000 years in the future, EVE takes place in a distant cluster of over 7,000.
They've arrived at the LZ, which is right next to Camp Lightning, the finish line.
The last few moments.
Yeah, kind of don't want it to end, to be honest with you. I got a lot of emails waiting on me.
The class began with 80, but only 51 finished.
Look at this thing.
Before they head home, the students have to clean their gear.
Real good.
Sloppy Joe! Extra sloppy!
Once the gear is clean, it's time for a jungle school tradition known as the Dog-X. Students pay $10 to enjoy the meal prepared and served by the instructors, which includes 2 hot dogs, chips, a Rice Krispies treat, and a drink.
Coke, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper, Sprite.
I want Mountain Dew because I want diabetes.
I want diabetes.
So like the wise you bring all this bacon, so they get some spot.
The only thing left is to get their jungle tabs. On a windy Friday morning at Schofield Barracks, friends, family, and colleagues gather to see the newest class of jungle qualified soldiers.
On graduation day, you see a group of proud, confident soldiers who have that understanding for operating in a jungle, that they're able to go back to their units and be a force multiplier out there.
How do you feel, number one?
Good. I guess when I did the Dog-X yesterday, they told me number 1 usually is bad omen and they usually fail. So being number 1 and passing that, I think that brought some good luck to it.
It feels pretty good for it to be over, have some freedom back again. This weekend I get a 4-day right before we get back to work, get ready to go to the Philippines.
What's on your agenda for the rest of the day?
Well, after this, I'm probably gonna go home, take another shower. The wife's at work, the kids are at school, so I'll have the house to myself for a couple hours, just kind of relax before everything gets back to normal.
I know, yeah, lots of leis. It's a great Hawaii tradition. Everyone brings a lei when you graduate something or promote or something like that. So my platoon came out, my platoon sergeant had everyone give me a lei. Super sweet of him.
So what's up next for you?
Gonna go home, probably go to the beach later, hang out with my friends, check in with my platoon, stuff like that. Just see what I missed. Get out of the wind.
So what does it mean now that you got that?
It means that I gotta find something else to go do.
How do you feel about your dad?
I think he's pretty awesome. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's pretty cool.
So what's next for you for the rest of the day?
Well, honestly, I have a meeting at 1400 and then get ready to go back to the field with my men Monday.
Surprised that kid made it for sure.
Once a day, a couple times a week, so there's quite a bit of rain to be had. So for me, water, shelter, fire, and then food while we're out here. This is nice because I don't want to be too far from the water, because if I'm too far into the jungle, not only is it harder to get access to the water to get food, fish, things like that, but the light little breeze that comes off this thing, it's ever so gentle, will help keep the bugs down. But yeah, this is home, and I couldn't be more excited. This is perfect. There's a lot of bugs out here, not at this moment, but they definitely come out. But I'm surprised, it's not quite like Canada. Canada has some of the worst bugs I've ever experienced. Oh, you gotta watch it, there's a cobweb here. spider web. But I thought this was some trash, but it's just a butterfly's wing. It's one of the amazing parts about the jungle. There's very little human traces. The jungle just claims everything. And during the rainy season, everything just sinks below the mud. That's why there's no rocks here. There are very few rocks that you'd find in this jungle, because as the rains come in, all the rocks just settle far, far down. It's hot as heck today. I got to keep nice and hydrated. I got a ton of work to do today. But first, I'd like to tell you guys about today's sponsor. All right, guys, I just want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor. Without sponsors on this channel, this video, this trip here to the jungles of South America would not be possible.
Sometimes I imagine what I'd write today for my dear friend Martin. I'd remind people that all hate thrives on one thing: silence. The people who will change the nation are those who speak out, who refuse to be bystanders, who raise their voices against injustice. When we stand up to silence, we stand up to...
Huge shout out to Surfshark VPN for sponsoring this video. Just before this trip, I was in Georgetown, Guyana. I was doing some last-minute banking, emails on my phone, getting organized for this trip, as well as some other ones I have going on in the future. Now, I was using networks that I didn't exactly feel comfortable using without connecting through Surfshark VPN. I've been using a VPN for well over 13 years now, since my first international travel experience. I was in a country where its network had restrictions which didn't allow me to connect to things like Google services, Facebook, things like that, without using a VPN to securely connect me back home to my home country. A VPN is essentially a secure connection that allows you to travel the world internationally. So when I'm here in Guyana or somewhere else in the world, I'm able to connect to things like my bank, my email, without being flagged by my services saying that my stuff has been stolen. Surfshark VPN also allows you to access content you wouldn't find back home, like international Netflix shows, for example. Also, when connecting through Surfshark VPN, you're protecting your data from snoopers and trackers that could steal your data. This actually happened to my brother Max when he was traveling internationally, and he connected through an open network at a cafe, and he gets back home and he realizes that his Facebook had been hacked. The hacker had actually left a message. And while this attack was relatively benign and mundane, imagine that happened to his email, or his bank account had been hacked. That'd be pretty awful. And this all could have been protected with Surfshark VPN. Secure your privacy with Surfshark VPN on unlimited devices. Use code BUDNIK for an extra 4 months free, 30 days money back guarantee. Guys, go see what Surfshark can do for you. Thanks for sponsoring this video, and let's get back into it. All right, before we get into the day, let's take a look at everything that I brought. I got my belt kit here. This is an Army issued one with a machete, leather machete case. Machete, we got a file to sharpen the machete, Leatherman, compass to keep myself nice and oriented to the river, inReach for safety purposes, headlamp. We have fishing kit, lines, leaders, hooks, those types of things, paracord for fishing, thick line for fishing, because there are piranhas out here. I have a ferro rod for sparking a fire, canteen, 1 liter canteen, and a metal canister. I have here iodine droplets. This is what's going to allow me to purify the water and drink it, otherwise be very difficult. And for my luxury item, I have coffee. One thing I hope not to use is this thing of cotton. There are natural trees here, they're called cotton trees, and they produce a substance called kapok, which is very similar to this, almost identical, but it's not being produced this time of year. The trees are in abundance, but yeah, it's the wrong time of year, so this is supposed to emulate it. I still hope not to use the cotton in this, though I will if I need to, because a fire would be nice. Anyways, that's all I got other than the camera equipment and medical kits I have here in these 2 boxes. Camera equipment, batteries, lens, tripod, batteries, charging. This is a med kit. This is for rain. This is for blowing water off the camera. Camera, lenses, and chargers, and things like that. Oh, and last but not least, I of course have this bow. If given the chance, I will try to harvest some game. 2 arrows, 1 bow. So I found camp. This is where I'm sleeping. This is an amazing spot. I just got to figure out exactly how I want to set up my shelter. And it might look like I'm indiscriminately just slashing things, but I'm trying to clear out an area in which I can feel safe, because there's lots of scorpions, spiders, ants, those types of things. So I want to clear the area, push all the brush back, and make it home, because I don't want to be stung by anything.
Alright, chat, I'm gonna be ending the stream. I'm gonna be going back to playing Call of Duty or GTA. So I'm gonna be catching y'all on those. Like probably 10 minutes left. Yeah, I hope y'all have a good rest of your days. I'll see y'all soon. Appreciate y'all for tuning in.